Again.
And we are live. Hello and welcome everybody once again to the State of the Empire Assembly for the week of the 18th of January 2020. I can feel my life slowly slipping away as the years go by. As always, I'd like to thank everybody who chose to attend this week, as these little meetings do help us to keep things strong, flexible. They give us a means of getting information out to you, taking feedback in from all of you, recognizing new recruits and promotions, and just generally offering a degree of transparency that I think a lot of clans don't really have. So, people in attendance at the start of this assembly are Drakath, Eddie, Merkangel, Alchemist, Drusilla, Nielsen, Novasef X, MJ77901, The Wimpy Hot Dog, Haramoto Zero, Coffee Devotee, Ailerons, JL, and of course, I am Emperor Farrison presiding. We'll start where we always do, with this week's promotions, new enlistees, and more. First off, taking the rank of Kamat Grade 1, new enlistees include Drakath, Tutorfish, Rogue Cheddar, JGC 1982, Enitas, Libeldra, Slaked, Zeus Godin, Furby, Monkeyman 731, Deathtrap 463, Dankosaurus Rex, I'm just going to call that Tanbor, Morgan, Amy 88, Shortgit, Barry, Dragon Succubus, and HSK. People this week being promoted to Kamat Grade 2 based on activity include Tutorfish, Drakath, JGC 1982, Zeus Godin, Monkeyman 731, Deathtrap 463, Shortgit, and Furby. So congratulations to a welcome to all of our new members, and a congratulations to those who have already managed to take their first steps up the chain. Next up, as always, we have a handful of enlisted promotions this week. This includes Italo to Stivos, Mickey 5 to Stivos, and Zeus Godin to Stivos. Additionally, we have Coffee Devotee to Repicar, and Death a Girl to Repicar. And finally, for his continued activity, drive to help build the Empire, and recruitment and organization efforts in the 8th Legion, we have Insane 35 promoted to Photomar. Ah, interesting. Beyond that, we don't have any further promotions to announce this week. We're in a intermediate phase of the academy training, and that's about it. So, not a bad week for recruitment, slow week for promotions, but we still got a few under there, so works for me. Next up, I have just a few basic notes I'd like to go over before we open the floor. First and foremost, I would like to thank all of the cadets who have been stepping up. Really do appreciate the effort you've all put in. especially those who are already trying to help with recruitment before their training, and those working on helping people with questions, onboarding, etc. Beyond that, I've got to fix something real quick. And does that handle it? Yep. Okay. Beyond that, I'd like to say that the 3rd Legion is doing fantastic. We've had a flood of new members all going into the 3rd Legion. I'm sure we've got several people sitting in the 3rd Legion helping the new guys get acquainted with the group, and anybody who may be a new light or a long and active returning Destiny veteran, getting them up to speed with the changes and the flow of the game. The 2nd Legion got some good news this week. The commanding officer of the 2nd Legion has actually returned. I won't go into details, as it's obviously rather personal. I will simply say that there were health complications over the holiday, and we're happy to have him back and in one piece. Additionally, I would like to take a moment to remind everybody that they should keep posting to the proper channels. Please do not post exorbitant amounts of Destiny-specific content in general chat. Do not use Destiny 2 General as an overactive meme channel. Memes related to Destiny 2 are acceptable. It's kind of that gray area thing. And for the love of all that's holy, do not flood the D2 Ops channel with senseless side chatter. Use D2 General if you need to talk about organizing things. D2 Ops is just for the bot. Otherwise, the bot's LFG posts constantly get buried by the flow of chat. And the whole point of putting that in a separate channel was to make it easy for people to jump to a channel, look through raid schedules, LFG posts, etc., and pick the ones that they had the time and were interested in. So the needless cross chatter is making it more difficult for the channel to serve its intended purpose. And of course, remember, the bot is there for use, guys. If you need to know the current meta, go to the Warbind Charlemagne channel, enter a command. If you need to track Destiny stats, look up what Xur's got going, any of that, we have the bot for that. It's fantastic for that. And if you're looking to put a raid together, don't just jump in D2 General, be like, I'm starting a raid right now, who wants to join? Because the fact of the matter is, raids are, for most people, a multi-hour commitment unless you're used to running with the same raid team and you've gotten it down pat. And you're unlikely to see very much success if you just go, raid in 5 minutes, let's go. Nobody even gets that message until 10 minutes later half the time because they're busy with something, or they don't get a ping because technology is unreliable. So, if you do that, you have no right to bitch when you get no response. Go and make an LFG post in the D2 Ops. Use, exclamation point, LFG, create. That will get you started. It's basically a setup wizard from that point. If you can't figure out how to navigate the basics of the bot from there, given the fact that it's 90% reactions and 10% typing some basic fucking responses like time and date, then I don't know how you managed to get on Steam and install a game in the first place. There, I said it. That brings us all the way around. For the cadets, I'd like to let you all know that I will be setting specific times for classes. If you have a time that you think will do well for you, or a time frame, let me know. I'm happy to run the classes one-on-one or 4 or 5 people at a time, as long as people are moving up, getting the training they need, and getting the practice they need to make themselves better officers. I'm happy to work with you guys. But me sitting around going, okay, I'm free all day today. What time do you guys want to do something? Nobody manages to come up with anything. So from now on, it's going to be a case of I'll get on, I'll go, I have all day, and I will mention, I'm doing a class today. Here's the time, or maybe a couple of possible times. Who's free? And if nobody is free at those times, then I just won't run the class because there's nobody to teach. If people are free, I'll run whichever class the most people currently need that are available in that time slot. So there's going to be a little bit more firm scheduling on academy training because otherwise I'm just sitting here slamming my head into a brick wall and getting nowhere. And finally, I need to go and check on the results as the poll is closing. So that's suggestions. Okay, there we have it. We are trying our hand this week at, I guess you could call it something of a referendum. On Wednesday, I put up a poll because of suggestions and requests asking if people felt that we should add a not safe for work / porn channel or channels. And the current votes cast are 14 for, 11 against, and 15 voted present. So, ignoring the presents for a moment, 14 to 11. Well, that is a 56% in favor. So, we'll be implementing that likely later tonight. I'll likely be talking with a couple people, bouncing ideas off of them and seeing how to go about implementing it. So we're going to do a trial run. We're going to give you fuckers a porn channel. Everything better adhere to US law. I'm not getting into deep detail about this right now, but adhere to US law or I will send your ass to the Shadow Realm, and I'm sending the FBI after you, so have fun with that. And we're going to do a trial run. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see if all of you can be trusted with such a thing. Your performance will be judged. Like a bitchy girlfriend. Um, that should about do it. I'd just like to remind everybody that if you feel you deserve a promotion and you haven't gotten one, please DM me. There's still a good number of people here. I can't see every single thing going on, and Legion commanders are not hyperactive right now. We're working on rectifying that. So some people may get overlooked. It's incumbent on you to decide to approach and make your case. If anybody feels that they'd like to step up and take on more responsibility within the Empire, within their Legion, within their game of choice, again, contact me. Speak up. Let me know what you're thinking. This place only works with feedback. We rely on that shit a lot. So, help us help you. Plain and simple. If you like what we do here, If you like us trying to organize events, maybe setting up private servers in certain games, uh, tournaments with rewards, things like that, and you can spare $1 a month or a couple bucks a month, we do have a subscribe star. It's like a Patreon competitor of sorts. You get a fancy title of nobility in the Discord, and we'll be looking to try to figure out what other things we can offer without tainting the group with a bunch of disgusting corporatized paywalls. But we do need some way to support the costs of our website, the costs of tournament prizes, the cost of trying to run some private servers, things like that we're hoping to set up in the near future. So, if you're the kind of person with money in your pocket and you're trying to figure out where to put it, that's one way to support us. Get your active title, and of course, every week in the State of the Empire, you will get a special thanks. We are also looking at expanding our video presence. Hopefully, we're going to start recording some gameplay in the near future, putting up some series, kind of get the name out there, get some entertainment value behind the group identity as well, and see where that goes. And of course, all of our subscribers will be mentioned in every one of those videos when we start putting them out as well. Standard YouTube fare, I guess, at that point. I don't know. The whole thing's still a little weird to me. But that's what it is. If you want to throw $50 a month our way, thank you very much. If you want to throw $1 or $5, we appreciate it all the same. If you can't, we understand. We're not going to treat you poorly because of it. You're here to have fun, not to necessarily spend a shit ton of money. So, once I secure this job, I've got some money coming in. I'll be working on getting some merchandise for those interested. Shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads, maybe a sweater or something. If you got ideas, let me know.
Beanies would be pretty cool.
All right, Tim Pool. I'm probably the only one here who gets that reference. I think that pretty much covers it for now. So I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, anything you'd like clarified. Let's hear it. All right, good talk.
Um, Personally, for guys that are find themselves burning out on Destiny, we kind of keep trying to reiterate it, but we're trying to dive into other games. So just speak up on anything that you're interested in playing or that you play a lot of currently. I know Nielsen is into Eve Online a lot now. I play Final Fantasy 14. We're looking to start back. Well, I'm looking to start back on Path of Exile, and Ferrison already plays it. We also have Halo. A lot of people are jumping into Warframe now. I think Thor is trying to do some stuff in that now as well as the other guys that normally play it. So just remember to pitch the games that you play or want to play out there so that we can try to, you know, go towards them.
Absolutely. That was going to be one of my closing points, was actually to check with everybody with any games they might be interested in. So thank you for proving my point on just how important that little subject is. It's all about you got to diversify your game portfolio. Because Destiny Sandbox is kinda shallow and the gameplay starts to not be so engaging after a while. At least for me. Some people can do it day in and day out. I'm not one of them. So,
True, true.
We're always looking at other games to play, other places we can fly the Kaldaran banner, new lands to conquer. You will help us expand the Empire, or you will die. I have to say die because if I keep talking about the Shadow Realm, it's going to go from a joke to being cringy.
Hey, I actually do have a question. I just was busy at the time that you were asking. What exactly does the training entail?
So the training is for potential officers, and actually, I think I have the document pulled up. Give me a second to switch to that. Uh, so it goes in a couple of phases. The first phase is basically kind of setting what we expect from our officers because they are the sort of administrators and moderators, the people running the various clans because I can't be in every place at once. It gives some further explanation of the rank structure. Uh, we actually have sort of a very basic code of conduct. It's all common sense stuff. Don't be a complete fucking dickhead. As an officer, you're expected to kind of act as a bit of a face for the organization. So we don't expect you to be neat, clean, and corporate, but you know, try not to leave the absolute worst taste in people's mouths that you can. And then after that, it's
Right. Yeah.
mostly imparting the some of the tools. So we teach you kind of a little bit more about how the Discord operates and how to help people get in and accustomed to the Discord. We teach people some recruitment tactics. We have you come up with your own pitches. We'll throw you a few pitches that we've come up with over time. There's a little course on moderating the Discord and a degree of conflict resolution because anytime you start putting enough people together, somebody's going to start bumping heads. So having moderators able to kind of navigate that and pay attention to what's going on and take two people, sit them down, and work out the issue to prevent it from blowing into a hellhole. And then the last thing is just imparting some of the knowledge and tools on how to organize various in-game events and, keep the various legions running smoothly, keep everything active, engaging, and interesting. It's mostly just so that we can help make sure that our officers and our admins have the tools that they need to do their jobs. Does that answer your question?
I suppose so. I had heard you guys mention it last week as well, and thought maybe it was something to do with like training for the raids or something.
Oh, yeah, no, this is officer training specifically. Although we will be setting things up and helping to teach new people the raids and making sure that they learn the mechanics, they're taught how to do it, and we can help them through because the idea is if you get a group of people who know what they're doing and a group of people who maybe don't so much know what they're doing, you can have the group of people who know what they're doing teach the people who don't know what they're doing, and then you've got more groups that can then teach more people, and exponential growth in the number of people who are able to do the raids every week is obviously good for the clan. So that's unrelated, but also something we are working on. Which means I'm going to have to stop and talk to a few of the people who are doing the raids frequently. I'd like to see our groups get good enough to start running the raids in, an hour or less instead of, the 4 to 7 hour slogs that they've been for a couple of them. Whew.
Well, the live action we got is we can run it in less than 2 hours with the current.
To me, the issue is getting the same people together each time, so that then we all are accustomed to how each other plays, and then we can have each other's back. And then we also know each other's names properly and know each other's voice, so that we can be like, okay, well, that person just said they need help. We know exactly who it is. that makes it a bit more smooth as well.
Yeah, it's good when you're used to the same group of people and you get a sort of unit cohesion and synergy going.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want people to get too comfortable because I still want some of you more experienced raiders teaching the next set of people so that they can get up there and become experienced raiders as well. So there's a balancing point to be found there. Any further questions, comments, concerns, etc.?
All good on my end.
Yeah, same here. Everything's good.
All good.
All good.
All good, man.
Alright, let me check my notes here, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Am I good to chime in?
Oh yeah, if you wanted to say something, go ahead.
Just want to say it's great to see everything going so well since I'm still, off of my trip to hell, trying to figure out how to get back. But just more on towards the moderator stuff. Anything that happens, guys, just keep in mind this is a game. We're here to play with people. We're here to have fun. Don't let something get too far over your head. And I've been in a few groups where they've split apart because it ends up as a lifelong feud over something simple. If it gets too far or just you think something's not right, just stop, think about it, go over in your head, and if it still needs pursuit, then go to the moderator. If you find that maybe you were in the wrong, don't be afraid to apologize. Just don't let it get over your head and make something too big out of something too little. That's all I wanted to say.
Fair enough.
Alright. If nobody has anything else to add, it's been about half an hour. I think we can more or less wrap things up here. I'd like to issue a final thank you to our supporters on Subscribestar, including Baron Frodo, Baron Delta, we have a Lord Kelly, and of course, at the citizen level, we have Novasef. So thank you guys. The bit of money you put in each month does help us to run various bits to keep the Empire working as best as possible. And of course, a thank you again to everybody who attended this meeting. A thank you to those listening in the future via our YouTube channel. I think that covers it. Am I missing anything? Let's see. Fuck, fuck, fuckity fuck. This broadcast is not designed for children. Shit, piss, damn, hell, cunt, titties. Suck my nuts, FCC. I think that's enough of a disclaimer to cover us, right, guys?
Hello,
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds about
That's
right.
good.
Yes, the fuck it is.
All right.
yes.
Figures.
So, final notes. Thank you all again. Long live the Empire.
Long live the Empire.
The Empire.
Long live the
That's
Empire.
all.
The Empire.
Welcome to